What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Uncanny X-Men Retro Series Storm. Here we do have Storm in the packaging. Really been looking forward to this figure. It's my favorite Storm costume of all time. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get her opened up, and then we'll have a better look at Storm. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have Storm posing out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what she comes with. Storm does come with two accessories. She does come with two lightning attachments that you can put on her arms, and they look really good. We do get one for her left arm, and then we also do get one for her right arm. Other than that, Storm doesn't come with anything. The Retro series does not include a Build-A-Figure, which is to be expected because they are on a Retro card. But other than that, let's actually take a closer look at Storm's details. And so here we have a closer look at Storm, and this is one figure I have been looking forward to ever since it was announced, and I knew it was somewhere around the corner. Really glad I have Storm in hand. This is probably my favorite costume that I can remember Storm in, and this is the most iconic costume in my opinion. This is of course her Jim Lee costume, and let's actually talk about her head sculpt. It's a really nice head sculpt. I do love it. Now, the only thing is I feel like her lips could have a little bit more red on them. They do have a little bit of a metallic red paint just to simulate the lipstick, but maybe a brighter red would do better because from here it doesn't look like she has any lipstick on the top of her lip. Obviously she does, but it's just something that they could have done. I really do like the face. It's really elegant. It's beautiful. Storm here... Oh, I dropped the figure. They did a really good job just encapsulating Storm's beauty, and the hair is probably my favorite thing about this figure. You can see just how much detail went into her hair. It is in a base white plastic, and then they went around putting in all this wash detailing, and it's not just on the back of it, they also put it on the inside, so I really love that. Really do appreciate the amount of detail they went into that hair sculpt because it is beautiful. If there's one word I can use to describe this Storm, it's a beautiful figure. Now you can see she does have little lightning bolt earrings, which they do look really nice. You can see her collar is actually sculpted. One thing I do appreciate about this figure is that the majority of this figure is newly sculpted parts. The head is new, the hair is new, these little shoulder pads are new sculpts as well. And the little X right here is a separate piece that pegs into the shoulder pad, which connects the cape to her back. That's also a unique piece. Her torso is entirely unique. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that mine does have that little blemish right there on the right, on her right breast. You can see is red paint, probably from the X symbol. The X symbols are done okay on the left side. Right side could be better. It could be much better. She does have baggy sleeves right here, as you can see. And then they also do continue the sculpt of the fabric right here. So we do have some wrinkles right here in her forearm. Going all the way down, you can see her cuffs are nicely sculpted. The only thing I don't like about this figure is the cape. Now, I understand why Hasbro did it this way, but there's better fabric that they could have done. This is like a plastic fabric. Creases, it bends, it leaves folds, so yeah, they could have done something better with this cape. Might actually try tracking down a better cape than this, because this one's okay, it'll do for now, but you can already see how it crinkles up right here. I think a little bit of heat, and I mean a really little amount of heat, would actually do this justice and get those wrinkles out. But going onto her torso, again, we do have that sculpt work going all the way down. We do have a belt on Storm. Surprisingly, does not have an X, but we have two X's right here on her shoulder pads. And again, just really nicely sculpted. Even the back of her costume, you can see there's some folds sculpted in there. I do want to say that her hips down to her feet are reused, because I believe we have seen these in the past before. The hips I'm a little unsure about because they do have wrinkles right here. Pretty sure they have been seen in the past, but I'm not 100% sure. And one thing I do love about this figure is she is cast in this really beautiful pearlescent white, and it just looks so good. I know there's a lot of people who wanted silver, but I think the white is my go-to, and I don't need another Storm at this point. Now, another issue I have is her body. Storm, I always saw a more fuller figure, like bigger hips and bigger chest area, but this figure does a really good job in everything else. I'm willing to just say this is the perfect Storm figure in my opinion. So, with her details out of the way, let's actually have a look of how she compares to other figures you have in your collection. And so here we have Storm posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Storm posed next to a WWE Elite scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Storm posed next to the Marvel Legends Jim Lee Wolverine and the Jim Lee Cyclops. And finally, here we have Storm posed next to the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Storm. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Storm's articulation. Now, she does have a ball joint in the head. She can tilt her head side to side, which works really good. She can turn her head left and right, but of course, the hair is going to get in the way of that articulation. She can move her head up and down, and that's all just on the ball joint. Using the hinge, her head does go all the way down. Unfortunately, because of her hair, that's as far back as you can get her head going. This is a really dense plastic, so it has no give, unfortunately. And of course, rotation is fine. Arms are on ball joints. They do go out to about that far. They would do a full 360, but you do run the risk of popping these out. And if you pop these out, you pop the cape off. So safely, her arm does go up to here, and you can actually see inside. The peg is starting to come out, but that's an easy fix. Just push that right back in. We don't have a bicep swivel on Storm, however we do have a swivel at the elbow. We also do get a hinge at the elbow, giving us about 90 degrees. We have a swivel and hinge at the wrist. No issues there. Storm has one of the best ball joints I have seen on a female figure. Though it doesn't provide too much forward movement, it provides a lot of backward movement, so much that you actually do expose the ball joint in there. So if you're going to have her pose, that's about as far as I'm willing to push it. She does lean side to side, no problem. And we do get rotation right there. We don't get any rotation in the waist, but her hips do kick forward to about there. They kick back, not at all. Go out to the side, standard for Marvel Legends. Swivel at the thigh, double bend in the knee. Works pretty good. No swivel at the calf, but we do get a rocker ankle, so her foot does pivot. Her foot does hinge forward to about there and hinge back to about there. So overall, pretty standard articulation that we've seen on a Marvel Legends figure. Nothing too spectacular, but it's going to do its job. So with her articulation out of the way, let's actually get her posed for my final thoughts. And so here we have Storm posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I love the way this figure came out. Even though the accessories are something we have seen before, it actually works for the figure. It's not one of those traditional power effects that Hasbro gives us, but these lightning attachments do add to the figure, and I am glad that they were included. Storm here is a beautiful figure, and I am really glad to have the Jim Lee Storm in my collection after all these years. It does seem like Hasbro is listening to the fans, which is something I really do admire. Now, if you are looking for the retro Uncanny X-Men series, I am starting to see them hit stores like Walmart and Target. I have yet to see these at any Walgreens, so I think Walmart and Target are your best bets to get them. Now, Storm is going to be one of the harder figures to find, despite the fact that it is one figure per case. I really haven't seen Storm at retail besides my local comic book stores. Now, I was able to pick up Storm and the rest of the Uncanny X-Men Retro series on Big Bad Toy Store, where it did run me about $125 for the entire set. That's about $21 a figure, so it's a price I'm willing to pay. Storm here is the one I really wanted the most, but there were other figures there too which I wanted to have in my collection. It only made sense to buy the entire case. So if you are looking for Storm, check Walmart, check Target, or if you can't find her there, go ahead and order her online, or check your local comic book stores. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Marvel Legend and X-Men videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.